Greetings, everyone. I am Kai Andita Damali Morgan Campbell. Yes, all of that. I am a clinical psychologist and the executive director of KAHLE Journey. And we are here talking to you today about trauma. What is trauma? So there are many adverse childhood experiences or events that people can experience that we call trauma. So we're talking about things like witnessing violence in your home, in your community, being physically abused, beaten all the time, emotionally beaten and verbally beaten all the time, having negative things being said about you, to things like sexual molestation. All of these things are considered adverse childhood events and traumatic experiences. And all of this is affecting our brain in a very real way, like I mentioned before. So what am I really talking about? What do you mean the brain? How this relate? How this all come together? Our brain is involved in everything that we do. Every action that you take, your brain is involved in some way, whether it's how we move in our hands, how we play in a sport, how we're thinking, how we reason, whether we're focusing or not, all of it. Brushing your teeth, all of it. There is a brain correlation. There's a way that the brain is involved. We want to talk about two parts of the brain. The front part, which we call our prefrontal cortex, or where our forehead there, right? Right there. That part is responsible for what we call executive functioning. Executive functioning means that is how when we're thinking, we're trying to problem solve, we're trying to concentrate, we're trying to withhold ourselves from doing certain things. So we're not impulsive. We're trying to implement, make certain decisions. That is the part of the brain that we're dealing with, right? We also have the middle part of the brain. And in the middle part of the brain, we have certain structures that deal with fear and the emotions. We have a specific part that we call the amygdala. Sometimes we just say Amy for short. And with Amy is responsible for telling us when we need to be fearful, when fear is near, right? We need to fight, we need to flight, we need to freeze. And these things happen when we're traumatized. They're happening way more than our bodies, our brains are supposed to be doing them. We're supposed to be able to deal with stress on a short-term level. When we have this happening and the middle part of our brain is overactive, it is happening way too much for us to really handle. And so we're getting a lot of signals for things that are supposed to be normal as fearful. And this means that we are impacting our relationships, because we're not trusting, for example. So we feel like there's something gonna happen. Some shoe is gonna drop. Something is going to impact us and make us and hurt us. So we're always on the alert, right? Which is not a good place for our brains to be. So that's how the brain gets involved. So now this all impacts our immune system. And even as far as looking at the diseases that can impact us because of trauma, right? So we have things like high blood pressure, hypertension, right? Diabetes, sugar, or even cancer. What happens is that when, again, we are stressed over and over and in such a long and lasting way that we become, our systems, it's too much, it's overwhelming. So our immune system is weakened. And then in comes the infections. We're not able to fight them as strongly. Is that a word? Right? As we were able to before. So this is a really important piece because then we have that openness to all kinds of disease processes coming from trauma. We as a Jamaican people and we in the Caribbean in general, I think we've been through a lot of trauma in our experiences. There is not only like family trauma coming from way back or intergenerational trauma, but then the experiences that I mentioned before that happen maybe on a daily basis for us. And so I think as a Caribbean people, we have to be aware of these and we have to build our resilience, right? So we have to build skills, simple tools, and that's what we're here doing we're creating this video series for us to have simple tools that we can use to be able to build our resilience on a daily basis. They're very easy to utilize. We just need to use them, right? So that we can help to give our body that equilibrium, give our body to get to that okay zone, that resilient zone where we can function more normally as individuals.
Now, when your brain and you are in this state, there are 3 major things that can help to reset it: safety, calm, and connection. Safety is being with someone or somewhere that's safe. A safe person is someone you can trust. A safe place is somewhere where you feel comfortable and free to interact and to be yourself. Calm is learning how to control your emotions, especially when they get very intense or heavy. This could be feelings of anger, sadness, disappointment, unhappiness, or any other unpleasant emotion. Connection is about relationships, consistent, safe, and trusting relationships where you feel loved and cared for. Having strong, healthy relationships is so important for healing of emotional pain. You should see what our brains look like and how they heal when we begin to have healthy relationships with others. So these skills that we're about to introduce to you seek to improve your sense of feeling calm and safe so that you can connect better with others. But hear me out. It's not a quick fix and it's not a one-size-fits-all. It takes practice, daily practice, for you to improve and to figure out what really feels right for you. Okay? So let's get into it.
What are you feeling right now? Where are you feeling it in your body? This skill, check yourself, is the very first skill in the CRIM model. You're tracking how you're feeling, you're placing it, right? And it is important as it lays a foundation for all the other skills that we're going to show you. Once you're able to figure out what you're feeling, you're able to figure out what you're going to need to calm yourself. You can identify your emotions, and so you know when you're hungry, when you're stressed, when you can't bother. All of these things are very much important for us to identify within ourselves and know what it feels like so we can do something about it. So Simone, how do we check ourselves?
All right, so let's see. How you check yourself? It's important for you to understand the emotions and the range of emotions that we feel, but importantly and especially what we feel in our body when we're feeling these emotions, right? So Caleb, can you put your hand over your heart for Auntie? Can you put your hand on your heart and tell me what it feels like? Is it beating fast? Slow? All of them one time. That's okay, right? So you feel that. What about your body? Does it feel tense? Or does it feel relaxed? What about your jaws, guys? Check in. Does it feel like it's tense or is it loose? And can you think about like a happy memory? Yes? Something good with mommy and daddy or your sister? And picture in your body and feel in your body what it feels like. That's what we want you to understand, what your body feels. Pay attention to what your body feels with each emotion that you feel. That's what we do.
How are you feeling, Caleb?
I'm feeling fine.
You're feeling fine? Good. So you know what? Did you know we could teach other people how to check themselves? So this is how we're going to do it. When you go to school, you can work with your friends, work with your teacher, and when you're at home, work with mommy, work with your sister. Teach them how to check themselves, right? So we can go quiet and feel what's going on the inside. And we can start by taking some deep breaths. Can you take some deep breaths for me? Breathe in. Breathe out. Awesome. And then we'll try to check ourselves. Heartbeat, shoulders, are we relaxed? And guess what? We just checked ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? Good job.
High five! We did it. High five, Dad. You don't bad.
All right, so that was check yourself, guys. right, so the next skill in the CRIM model is the use what you have and turn it up skill. All right? Now, Sage. We all going through life. Life is life in.
Yes.
And so it's important for us to identify things that we can turn to make ourselves feel better. True?
True.
And we all have these things.
Very true.
We all call them resources. They're very helpful because when we are feeling triggered, sad, angry, right? We are not in our okay zone. We can use these things to calm ourselves down to make ourselves feel better. But first, we have to go back to skill 1. Remember what that is? Check yourself, right? And use the check yourself to figure out what we're feeling, where we're feeling it. Then we turn to these things or resources, right? To use them so that we can feel better about ourselves and what we're going through. It will help us to be more resilient, to push through, motivate us, and to calm ourselves.
Some things that you can kind of turn to are like a necklace that you really love, or your dog, go outside and play with your dog, or go spend time with your granny, or playing netball or football, whatever it is. Sometimes it can even be your spiritual belief or guide. For example, me, I love hanging out with my friends and going to the beach.
And these things, Sage, we call them the external resources, right? These are things that we turn to physically, or a place or a memory or even a person. Then we also have the internal resources. These are resources that you identify within yourself, whether your kindness, your charisma, your humor, these things that you like about yourself that you can think about and appreciate and celebrate. That will actually help you feel better, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. And then another really important and powerful thing is your imagination. So whether that be imagining your favorite character or your favorite movie scene or whatever it is, and immersing yourself in that can be really powerful and helpful. And then even imagining what it would be like when you reach your goals. How will you feel when that happens? And then a really super powerful thing for children is that they relate to their favorite movie character or video character or book character, anime character, whatever it is. So bringing them into that space can really help calm them down.
Definitely. So the next part to use what you have is turn it up. When you're in a little spot, in a little rut, you're triggered, and you're checking with yourself and you figure out, okay, what's happening here, right? What you need to do is just pick on something that you like, focus on it, right? Then we suggest the creation of a resourcing book. Right. Now, a little art and craft project, you can make it your own, and you just put things in there that you like. So here I have my favorite places, the mountains, the beach. I love going to the beach. Nice textures, soft, rough. And here I thought it would be good for me to have a good song in there. This is a song by Chris Martin, I'm a Big Deal, because I feel like we all should, big up ourselves, celebrate ourselves, right? And another arts and craft project that I think would be really good, especially with kids, a resourcing kit. Now everybody needs to get one of these, right? Make one of these. Now, in this, it's a box where you put all your favorite things in there, right? So here, we have a puppet.
My favorite thing.
Right? We have a Rubik's Cube, Play-Doh, bubbles, stress ball. I mean, you can put whatever it is you want in there. These things you can just pull on, feel it, hear it, whatever it is to make you feel good, to help you to relax and calm, right? So it doesn't have to be expensive, simple stuff. Simplicity is best, actually. And build your resource kit, build or create your resourcing book so you can use what you have and turn it up and get back into your okay zone. Where are you right now watching this video? How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Other than hungry, great.
Okay. What are you doing with your hands? I'm gesticulating. What we're talking about is grounding. Yen, do you know what grounding is?
It's one of my favorite ways of settling myself and calming and centering myself. Love grounding.
It's awesome, can be quick and easy, right? And that's why we call it Hol A Medz, because it means that you can go inside to figure out what you're feeling, to figure out what's happening inside your body. Not something that a lot of us are used to, but it is absolutely necessary, right? But guess what? Some of us find it difficult to ground. Why do you think?
Because they probably just don't know how to tap into it or to quiet your mind or to find the idea of feeling self. Yeah.
But also, we have some competition.
Yes.
Bills,
Netflix.
right?
Phones.
The internet as a whole, right? And then our traumas.
Yeah.
And then we're also worrying about a lot of things to come. But it is important to be grounded and Hol A Medz because you're better able to connect with family, friends, loved ones. And that is absolutely important for Hol A Medz.
Let's go through some of the steps that can help people to ground, right? So we're tapping into the senses. It's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 concept. So 5, let's find 5 things that you can see. 5 things around the room, in the space, wherever you are. If you're not able to see,
then 5 things you can hear.
Yeah. So identify those 5 things. 4, let's find 4 things that you can hear. Is it the birds? Is it the cars going by? Is it the sound of the baby crying next door?
Or if you can't hear, then maybe identifying different things you're feeling, different sensations you're feeling inside your body.
Yeah. And then for the 3, let's find 3 things that we can touch, 3 things that we can feel. So is it our own skin? Is it the fabric against our skin? Is it the earth beneath our feet?
And then 2 things you can smell.
Is it the coffee?
Oh God, I love coffee.
Is it the pot of soup or bubble?
Your favorite cologne that you're wearing anyways.
Verol is telling me that he smells me right now and I smell divine.
Awesome.
And then 1. That 1 thing is something that you can taste or 1 thing that you're feeling inside.
And once you do all of these, you're basically grounding, right? And grounding can take an entire day. If you want, you can go out to your favorite place, the beach, the mountains, and just exist in the present environment. Or it can take literally 2 minutes of your time. And once you do that, you're calm, you're cool, you're Hol A Medz, and you're all right.
Yeah.
All right, so this one named Move With Di Vibez, right? So we're gonna use our hands, our body, foot, everything to create certain feelings inside. We're going to focus on 4 main things, right? We're gonna have joy, confidence, protection, and calm, yeah? So we're gonna find some actions, just like how we have these actions for peace and for love and for, whatever this one mean to you, Usain Bolt, right? Then to create this kind of feeling inside that make us feel good. Sometimes we don't have a safe space outside and we try to create it inside. All right, so I'm going to make Yende and Zoe come now and show you how to really do the thing, all right?
All right, so you know what you're feeling inside, right? And you're mindful about what those feelings feel like. But you also know when you start to feel okay. Not true, Zoe? Yeah? So let's go with the first one. Let's go with dun dun dun. Should we do joy first? All right. 1, 2, 3. Your action for joy. And you do that until you start to actually feel yourself lift. You feel the energy shift. So how about now let's go with the second feeling of confidence. What's your action to feel confident? Ready? Oh, I like yours. Yours is like you saying, I got this. I got this. And I'm like Superman. So I figure if I do this for long enough, I'll feel confident. Yeah? How about your feeling for protection, or your action rather for protection? 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Are you saying Wakanda forever? So mine is like a hug. Mine is a hug for myself, you know, to I have myself, protecting my heart almost, yeah? How about an action for calm? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I like that, Zoe. What would you call that one?
Like rain.
Does rain make you feel calm? Yes. Yeah. You know what mine is? Look. You know what? You know why I'm doing this? Because it's the feeling of almost like a mother's touch. That's like soothing or calming. So it's like a stroke to calm myself. So I would do this until I literally feel myself exhale and calm down. Like maybe if you're taking an exam or a test or something that makes you anxious or nervous, maybe your action could help you calm. Can you do your calm again? Let me try yours. Again. Like that. Good job. Well done.
Have you ever felt like you were going to explode? Like you didn't have anything else to give? Stuck, overwhelmed, low, like anything could happen and it wouldn't be good? Then you need to take a big pause and reset.
Well, sometimes you need to scream. Ah! Or run. Or both.
Squeeze your fists or something soft really, really hard.
Sometimes you just need to rip up some paper or drink some water. But also, sometimes you just need to call somebody, tell them what you're going through, or just talk about anything and get your mind off of it.
Do something and help now.
By now you've learned 5 of the skills. You can remember them? This last one, switch it up, is a combination of all of those skills. Switch it up means that you can choose any one of those skills to redirect your brain to that okay or resilient zone.
So, in moments when you don't feel so good, you can switch it up so you can feel better.
So Justine, let's say you feel angry or sad. How would you switch it up to feel better? Remember, you can choose any one of the skills.
Right. Well, I think I would have checked myself. That way I can listen to my body, see what I'm feeling, and if I might be feeling angry, I might be feeling like a lot of tension in my body, I might be feeling an increased heart rate, my fists might be clenched, and that way I know that it's anger that I'm feeling. Or we can use what we have and turn it up to get myself feeling back in my resilient zone. So I like to think about my son and when he was first born, and that takes me back to some nice feelings and I can feel the changes within my body.
Boy, if I was angry or sad, I would have Hol A Medz. I would check in with my senses and see what it is that I need to do. Maybe use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique.
We could also do move with the vibes, right? So that's where I can move my body, move my limbs, and I can do something that makes me feel comforted. So for example, I can do something that makes me feel comforted, like rubbing the back of my arms or rubbing the side of my head. And if nothing now work, we can use help me now. And I could just name the colors that are around the room that I'm in.
You may have had a traumatic experience. Remember, these 6 skills will help you to feel a sense of safety, calm, and connection. I think Michael can say it best.
We abuse them, we neglect them, expose them to dysfunction, and then we expect them to function. As if everything is okay when it is not. Because trauma puts a strain on the developing brain. So even when things are all right and there is no danger in sight, the brain tells the body to fight or take flight for its survival. And the brain controls everything below. So you know when inside the head is in turmoil and on fire, the hormones and the immune system go haywire. And all this takes a toll. So even when we are old and no longer exposed to all this stress anymore, our brains and our bodies keep the score. And the reason why this score our brains and our bodies keep is because the wounds of trauma can run so very deep. But wounds can heal, so we must never feel that there is no hope, because there is.
Good day. I am Sean Harvey, Guidance Counselor, Salvation Army School for the Blind. This program became necessary, of course, as a result of some assistance with psychoeducational training that Dr. Morgan would have been providing for our school. That is, and upon the assistance that her organization would have been providing with our last year grade 6 students, there would have been the realization that a high level of trauma exists among not only the class that she was assisting us with, but with the school population as a whole. And as such, this program was initiated, and at present, what is taking place is the training of these skill sets to our entire school population, consisted of our student body, our teachers, and our parents. Thus far, this information has proved useful, right? Practically all of them, including grounding, right? And of course, as we know, the population at my school is heavily characterized, it's characterized by trauma, because of course, this is a population children who has either developed a disability since birth, or they are in the midst of dealing with sight loss, which in and of itself can be extremely traumatic, along with every other trauma that the society in general is going through, because of course our children are from everywhere in Jamaica. So clearly that would represent a microcosm of the entire society. So being susceptible to the loss of a relative, being susceptible to witnessing having fights and so forth. So that situation, the context of our school is one where traumatic experience among the student population is relatively high. So we have been absorbing the content, making great attempts to use it on a daily basis, and of course, there's evidence that it is working. Right? Working, and of course, this training can be considered to be trend-setting, because of course what we know is that in light of all the traumatic circumstances being faced by the student population in Jamaica in general, this is a program that the Ministry of Education themselves has not only endorsed but has been trying to get in other schools, and we can classify ourselves to be among the fortunate educational institution who would have been first in rolling out a program such as this. Right? So we continue to utilize the information as we speak in our school, and while both our school population and individual level, we all continue to see the benefit